Again, want to give all praises, power, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders, the prophets, the apostles, the wise men, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Salutation to the hopeful elect that are out there pushing the truth, risking their lives and freedom to do so, doing the best that they can to uphold the law, statutes, and the holy days. To you, I say Shalom. Today, we're going to talk about prophecy. We're going to talk about what to expect in the near future. So we broke it down into categories. To start off with, we're just gonna read about, just get the basics of it, and then after that, then we're gonna jump into food shortages real quick because that's coming soon. It's already in the process, but it's gonna hit very soon. And
it just ain't hit us yet.
Yeah,
that's all that is. Shortages done started. It just ain't hit us yet. The chain ain't got down to us yet. That's all that is.
And then we're gonna close out with the most important it's all important, but the most important one is what to do when all hell breaks loose. When it's on full on Jacob's trouble. I'm gonna let Brother Paris start it off.
Shalom. Let's start with Jeremiah chapter 30. And we'll start with verse 7. And alas, in that great day, so that none is like it. It is even in this time that Jacob will be Salakia. Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass that in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from his neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So basically what this saying is this is the time that we're talking about right now, basically where you're seeing all hell breaking loose. You got riots, we got COVID-19, about to force the vaccination because they're gonna boost the cases since all these protests going on. So they're gonna have forced vaccinations. So all this stuff is finna come about, and people are gonna be going at it. It's finna be straight hell. So what's going on is that it's gearing up for the fall of Babylon. So that's what's really gonna happen, and everybody's gearing up for it. Everybody's prepping. Everybody's getting their stuff together. It's not just the bruisers, everybody, because everybody knows what's about to go down. Guns are off the rack. It's hard to get a gun right now. But he's telling us that Jacob's going to get saved out of this trouble. That he's going to find a way to save his remnant, his elect. That they're not going to be touched. They're not going to be hurt in this time. And he gonna break. What he mean by break the yoke off his neck is he's talking about he's gonna break the chains of submission, of mental slavery and physical slavery. That this job and all this stuff that we've been tied to, it's not gonna matter no more. It's gonna be to a point that we're just worried about surviving and getting out of here. All the ties that we had, paying bills and all this stuff, that's not gonna be a worry. That's not gonna be a worry anymore, because all hell's gonna break loose. It's just gonna be about surviving. So verse 9, but they shall serve the Lord, their God Yahweh, and David, their king, who I will raise up unto them. Verse 10, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For I will save thee from afar, thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob I will return, and I shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So basically what that's saying is he said he's going to restore us like we were back in the day. David's going to be our king. Yahweh's going to be our God. And he's going to raise us back up. He's going to raise us back up to the top. We're going to be those people at the top. We're going to be those godly people, those righteous people again. And he's going to gather all these people from far, not just here in America, all over. So he's going to gather that seed of Jacob from China, Brazil, everywhere. He's going to bring them all together. In verse 11, for I am with thee, said the Lord. I have saved thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, I will scatter thee, and I will I will not make thee a full end of thee. I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So basically what he's saying is he's going to scatter us, and he's going to put us afar, and he's going to put us in captivity to learn, to endure this, and to go through this struggle. but he's not going to make an end of us. He's not going to make it so bad and so dangerous that it's going to get us killed off, and there's not going to be no more of our race. He's going to save us at the very end, and he's going to save us from our troubles. And a lot of brothers got to understand this. A lot of brothers is going to get kind of hectic, and people are going to worry, and they're going to be like, well, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. Well, things are not set up how you wanted it when things go crazy. But, man, you got to have that faith that you're going to get it when you need it, man. Because a lot of times, even with me, I might not have the money to get what I need right now for certain situations, but it'll come up. I just gotta tell you what I need. Just wait on it, man. Don't stress too much about it. Because if you really in this, you trying to work, man, you're gonna get it. He gonna get you what you need. And I wanted to jump down to 2 Ezra 9:1-4. And he answered me then and said, measure the times thou diligently itself. And when thou seest the part of signs past, which I have told thee before, which he's talking about right here, he's talking to prophecies. He's talking about sedition among men, different stuff we're gonna get into later, riots, and the push of the market of beast, the chip. And he's saying when you see these times coming to pass, which he's told us about this beforehand. Then thou shalt understand that this is the very same time, whereas the highest will begin to visit the world which he has made. So right there, he's talking about once all these things transpire, then we should understand this is the coming of the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We should understand that our time is very near, very nigh, and it's very precious. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt very well understand that the Most High spake these things for the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So when we see, just like I said before, when we see uproars against people, we have all these different riots going on, people destroying property, burning it down, and we have different upheaval in the police precinct, and we got it in the politics, all different type of stuff going on. Then we have earthquakes, crazy weather patterns, tsunamis, all this stuff is going on. He's telling you that this is the time he's coming back. We should understand that this time is very precious, very, very important to us. Anything you want to add before I jump down to 2 Ezra 15?
No, you good. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 15, 15 through 19. And this is getting into what we were talking about earlier when he said there's going to be an uproar in people in the world. For there shall be sedition among men, and invader of one another, and there shall not be regard among their kings nor princes. And what he means by nor kings or princes, we don't have kings and princes right now, so he's talking about the laws. He's talking about the establishment and the government that we have right now. So your governors, your presidents, your mayors, people are not going to regard what they're saying right now. Like you got people right now pulling up at Keisha at the mayor of Atlanta's house, just pulling up, and they're protesting and voicing their opinion to him. So it's already get to that point that these people are going to these politicians' houses. They know where they live, and they're going to start voicing their opinion towards them. And cause their actions shall stand in their power. So basically what he's saying is that they're going to getting to a point that people are going to get tired, man. They're getting tired, so they're going to start flexing their own muscles. And be like, well, we don't have to listen no more. We can do what we want to do. And a man should desire to go into a city, it should not be able to. And right there, that's already been happening with the COVID-19. Certain states, they're locked down. If you're in a state, when they lock down, you can't leave. If you're in a certain country, when they lock down, you can't leave. We're on a travel ban right now, so you really can't go anywhere outside the country. So that's already prevalent right now. Verse 18, for because their pride and city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. So basically, that's right now. So the pride, and we're seeing the pride because you have people protesting about all this police brutality and Black Lives Movement. And I get into the deeper part on another video of what that really is. But you have people protesting, but you also have the other side of people protesting. You have the KKK and you have the Klansmen, and these two sides are going to clash, and it's going to be a very volatile situation. There's going to be a lot of destruction. homes, goods, and all this stuff is going to get destroyed, just like you see it right now. People are tired of what's been going on in America, and they're trying to voice their opinion, and they don't really care who's going to push against. It's getting that time. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and shall spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and the great tribulation. And the lack of bread, that's talking about the famine, just like we're going to touch on a little bit later. The famine of the meat, because right now they're euthanizing all the cows, the beef, the pork. We don't eat that, but everything. They're euthanizing all the meat. So we're gonna get a point in time. There's not gonna be any meat to process because all the grown meat that we can process right now is going to be gone. There's only going to be little cattle. It takes a certain amount of time to produce these cattle to get big enough and strong enough to kill them and to make more meat. And what we're doing, we're offsetting that. Anything you want to add to that before you jump down to Isaiah?
I mean, you touched on all of it. Basically, what he just described is like it's gonna be like the purge times 10. If that's the easiest way to put it.
It's on.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to deal with. I mean, on top of the race wars, I mean, you're still gonna have like a civil war. So you know, you don't know who's on your side, and at that point, you know, it's all or nothing. Because like society is not going to, you know, rebuild itself. Like it's not gonna be like a video game. Like once you dead, you dead. Like that's it.
And no restart. Like I said,
Right.
like I said earlier, bro, you're going to be freed of these regular ties that we have to America. We're about paying your bills and all that. It's going to be about surviving, bro. That's all it's going to be about, bro.
Yeah, and the women and the children will get hit the hardest, but you know that's a different lesson as well.
People that's out here by themselves, man, y'all better get grouped up, bro. For real, get a plan, get grouped up.
I mean, they need to get into the word. That's the only thing they can save. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how many guns and you know supplies you buy. Like, if you mark for death, you mark for death. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna jump down to Isaiah 24, and I'm gonna read verses 10 through 12. So 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Brother Pierce just touched on that one. You know, it's gonna be like destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna try to go to somebody else, it's probably gonna be like boarded up. You know, it's gonna be just like what you see in the hood normally, but it's gonna be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And you see that starting now. You know, with the riots and stuff like that. 11. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So yeah. So basically, it's gonna catch people off guard who aren't into the gospel, who aren't you know understanding what's to you know transpire because they too worried about you know what you know a party they're gonna go to or when the COVID-19 ban is gonna come in and all that, and they're gonna get hit you know blindsided and they're not gonna know what to do. You know you're not gonna be able to call somebody and say, hey, you know, do you have some meat to spare and stuff like that? Ain't nothing gonna work. No cell phones, no nothing. So hey, you're not right with the Lord, you're gonna be in derision. You know what I'm saying? 12. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So just like that, all the cities are gonna be desolate. You know what I'm saying? Like no electricity, water's gonna be turned off, so people gonna be panicking. You know, people got to feed their families, so it's gonna be you know,
Gas,
kill
all that
kill.
heat. I mean, the winter's coming soon, so.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
know.
what I'm saying. So you know,
Just to be real about it.
exactly. Give me 1 second. Keep talking. I gotta get my apocrypha. I know you got something to touch on that one though.
Okay, but just like he was talking about earlier, he was talking about food. This he was talking about food shortage, and there's going to be pure destruction. And this is what a lot of brothers got to understand is that our main thing is that we should be following this law. We should be getting away from all this chaos. We should not be trying to go near this. We should not be trying to catch people in this, trying to teach them anything like that, man. We stay away from all this chaos, man, because that's the devil at work, bro. And that ain't going to get you caught up, man. It's going to get you killed, bro. A lot of brothers, they feel like they want to get out there. They want to help, bro. There's other ways you can help than out there risking your life, bro. Don't do that.
All right, I'm gonna touch on Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. Actually, I'm gonna start on 22. All right, so verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So basically what he's saying there is, all the food banks, they're going to be left dry. All the food that's on the shelf right now is going to be left dry as well. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear, they shall be suddenly afraid. Yeah, that one just clear as day. I don't really have to explain out, how that one goes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's always good to fast. Fast and prayer is the only way you can really get close to the Most High and expel these demons and to protect your life. Dauda. 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So basically, people are going to be fighting over materials. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be friends here, but when people need to survive, they're gonna do anything. So people are racking up on all these food and supplies, and they can't protect themselves. Well, they ain't nothing but like a sitting duck. So it don't matter if you knew your neighbor for 10 years or so. I mean, he got to eat. Everybody got to survive. And on top of that, the water's gonna be cut off.
That mindset change quick.
Right. So what you gonna do when the water
that mindset change quick.
Exactly. I'm going to read 25 and 26. So whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. So simple as that. If you don't have the Most High on your side, then you're probably not going to make it out. You know what I'm saying? You're probably going to die from starvation or killed over supplies and things like that. Anything can happen at that point. Ain't no law, 26, the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitant shall be changed and turned into another meaning. So basically what he's telling that is, it's going to be a portion that's going to survive, and some people are born that won't even touch death. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he's going to change us back to our holy selves. Yeah, and then we about to touch on the food shortages to go more into detail on that one.
Yeah, more in detail on that one. I'll put a link for the. I got another post about food shortages too. That there's a farmer that talks about. He goes more in depth about what actually is going on the ground at his farm and how he knows what's going to happen. I'll put a link too. But to start with Ecclesiastes 12:3. In that day when the keepers of thine house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because there are few. Those that look out the windows be darkened. So basically what this is describing in this verse is he's talking about a city that's becoming desolate, that's becoming dead. That there's no work, there's no people producing any products, pushing any type of goods, anything like that. Like everything's at a halt, everything's at a cease, everything's at a scarcity. Just like at the time when you had depression or a recession, but a lot worse than that because there's not going to be anything. The only time you get something is off of somebody else. Basically, he's talking about, and the windows are being darkened. He's talking about there's not going to be any light. There's not going to be any hope for a lot of people. It's going to be very grim. Jump down to 2nd Ezra 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. And this is basically describing what I was talking about earlier. And the houses shall be troubled, and the men shall be afraid. Well, they're afraid and they're troubled because they realize that there's food shortage, and they're trying to stockpile food, but they got other people across the street that's trying to stockpile food too. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a conflict at bay. People are going to compete for goods, compete for food, compete for gasoline, compete for cars, all different type of stuff because there's only going to be so much of this stuff to go around. 19, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and he shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, and because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And just like we were talking about earlier with the food shortages, there would be a lack of all type of food. Like there would not just meat, there would be bread, canned goods, tissue, because all of this stuff, like people are going to stop working at these factories and stuff because they're going to start shutting it down because of coronavirus. and people are not going to want to get these vaccines. So what's going to happen? You're going to have a shortage of workers that are actually there, and you're going to have a shortage of just everything, every type of good or service that you can think of you use on a regular basis right now. It's not going to be there, and what's going to happen is people are going to be scarce, and when people are scarce, they do scarce things. Anything you want to touch on that before we jump down to the next portion?
I want to touch on 24 and 27. So, same chapter, 15. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahweh. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For Yahweh knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth him them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Well, there you go. There's your answer. If you're not keeping these law, statutes, and holy days, like the commandments, in total, then you're not doing nothing but, number yourself to the sword. You know what I'm saying? It might come by his hand, or it might come by him, but through somebody else. So that's your best bet, because at that point, it's gonna get to a point like when the famine of the word happens, we can't teach nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very risky to actually sit here and
call people, all that, man. You're gonna be out here by yourself.
So it's gonna be very risky for you to just come up here and try to teach the word. But he's telling you what's going on. Food shortages, stuff like that. And people not taking it serious. People just like, well, as long as Walmart, Publix still have food, I still got time. Well, no, if you always stay ready, then you don't have to get ready. Which people are not doing. Yes, we know the Most High is on our side, but at the same time, he blessed us with common sense.
You gotta put in the work first, bro. Put your best foot forward.
Exactly. Like it's just common sense at that point. But I mean, that's food shortages. I mean, the best thing you could really do at this point, if it gets bad, if people gotta understand, you can also, go to local farmers and, pay for a cow and go get it slaughtered at the butcher. It might cost you between like $600 to $1,000. But off that, a family of four can eat for about a good year. Yeah, so
year or two, depending on how you portion it.
Exactly. So you eating good like that, you're already prepared. Or, if you don't have that money up front, you can always just go to the grocery store, and whatever little money you have, like extra money you always have on the side, just go buy meat, store it up, or just ration, buy stuff in portions and just ration it down. That's your best bet, because you got to remember, you got to be like pilgrims. So you can't be taking everything. You can't take your deep freezer. You know what I'm saying? You can't take your luxury pots and pans. You got to take what you have. And then after that, you got to stand on the Most High. And he told you, my servant's going to eat. So, you shouldn't worry. It's the same thing what he did when he took us out of Egypt. Did he not make sure they ate? Did he not make sure they were, well
taken care of? They was clean. They had water.
Yeah, water to take care of. Yeah. We understand you're going to panic, but, we're going to get to it with the next section, which is what to do when all hell breaks loose. So in this one, I'm going to start with Matthew 24, and I'm going to read verses 14 through 24. It's about 10 lines, all right? So bear with me. 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Right? So what he's telling you is that, it's going to touch the four corners of the earth. And then, that's when the famine of the word comes, and then that's when the end is to approach. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Me and Perry's going to touch on that, but let me continue reading. 16. Then let them which be in Judea flee unto the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. So basically saying, don't go back for anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to go back because you left your J's, or, you left $20 or something. Also, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. So take what you have. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to go back and try to do this and that, because you never know. And woe unto them that, yeah, my bad, Salakia. 19, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. So basically, uh, what he's saying is, yes, children are a blessing, but you got to be mindful. If you bring a child in this world at this time, then you got to take the extra precautions to make sure
they're gonna be safe.
They're taken care of, right? Because in those days, supplies are going to be limited. So, and then it's violence up ahead. So he's saying, woe unto them, But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. That was straightforward. 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So he's hinting on the, Jacob's trouble, because it's going to be time that's never happened ever since the beginning, through our ancestors on now. This is going to be like, this is the end. So you're going to see stuff you've never seen ever before.
Straight out of the movie, dog.
Exactly. 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So he's saying is, those days should be shortened because, you don't want to keep going through hell and stuff like that. The shorter, the better. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I have a prayer for that. I posted it on my story. We'll probably add it to the video, when we edit it and stuff like that. But I have a prayer to, pray for like shorter days and stuff. 23, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So basically, you're gonna have people when you panicking, you're not always in your right mind. So when you panicking, you're just like, oh, no, I gotta make sure my wife is right here. Oh, with my children, I gotta have everything. When you doing that, people gonna try to deceive you. Say, they might even have fringes on, just like Brother Naquan was saying. They're gonna be like, hey, he's over here in this building. They probably gonna kill you or something like that. Or they're gonna be like, hey, he over here in this field and stuff like that. He's saying, don't fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, your best bet is to pray that pray for guidance and understanding, and that your discernment kicks in. That's why it's important to study, because when you study, you understand that these things happen. You just like, okay, it's Jacob's trouble. This is what I'm doing. This is what I should do. This is what the Most High told us to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's talking about, 14 through 24. 15. Ooh, you want to go over that 15 real quick?
Hold on.
I gotta talk about the abomination of desolation.
I mean, you can touch on a little bit.
So basically, the abomination of desolation is
not too much. We'll leave that for another lesson, but just
yeah. So basically, when Esau Edom is like basically encompasses you. You know what I'm saying? While another world war is going on in the Middle East, we're gonna be getting chastised over here. So abomination of desolation is basically like they're gonna be like hunting us and things like that. And you gotta understand, it's time for you to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the abomination of desolations, they're gonna be trying to do everything. Basically, the easiest way to put it is chastise us to the point where it's gonna be bad. Like I guess you could read a closer point to that would be in Maccabees, like the second Maccabees, if I'm correct. When they were basically trying to force them to eat pork, and they were like basically like that.
Wine on the altar, yeah.
Yeah. So because we are the altar, you know what I'm saying? We're the altar. We're the third. When the Jerusalem was rebuilt, we're the third temple. Exactly. Your temple is your body. It's not a physical place. That's why he says, "I dwell, in the midst of Israel." So just like when Hamashiach was saying, I will destroy this temple in 3 days and then rebuild it. He was talking about his body. Your body is your temple. So that's what he's talking about. So desolation and abomination is when they're trying to destroy the temple. So basically try to kill you, chastise you to the max in a way. All right. And then I'm about to jump to Revelations 11 and 11. And after 3 days and half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. That's also touching on the the 7 years, which we'll talk about that on a different lesson because it's gonna take too much time on that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll make another video on that. We'll touch on that one. It's on you, Daniel.
And yeah, just to piggyback on that, Daniel 9:27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And this 1 week, just like he was touching on earlier, this 1 week is talking about the 7-year tribulation, which we will get into a deeper conversation about that later. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, for the overspread of abomination, so make it desolate, even until the consumption that it be determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So basically, throughout this 1 week, this 7-year tribulation, he's going to put a cease to everything. He's going to put a cease to all this, but we're going to get into the process and how that works out a little bit later, because that's another topic for another day, and we really don't want to go off topic with that. So I'll continue, and I'll go down to Hebrews 13-15. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to Yahweh continually, that it is fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. So basically, just like Brother Darian touched on earlier, like if we're not following his laws and we're not giving thanks to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai daily, and we're not following the Sabbath and the holy days, then what are we doing? How do we think we're going to get salvation? Or how is it going to work for us? It ain't going to work. Not at all. So we have to make sacrifices. So it's certain things that we can't do. Just like he said, you ain't going out here to these parties. You're not doing all that. You're not trying to turn up. But you focus on this word. You focus on reading. You got to cut back on a lot of things you do, better yourself in the long run, because in the long run it's going to better you when you're out here and you're worried in Jacob's trouble. When the real stuff is, man, it's not playtime no more.
All right, I'm gonna skip Daniel 12 and 11. Say that for different. I'm gonna jump to Psalms 50 and 15. All right, so Psalm 50 and 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. I'm gonna read 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee? So basically what he's saying, if you've been doing what you're supposed to do, following the commandments, which includes the law, statutes, and the holy days, then he's going to save you, in the time of Jacob's trouble. That's when your faith really is going to be tested. You know what I'm saying? To touch on that one, Ecclesiastes 2:1-4, which we're going to touch on. But to touch, like I was saying, and call upon me. So basically, call upon him. The first thing you should do, if they panicking or not, people going to be panicking because you're going to see stuff that you've never seen before, which he just told you. The best thing you can do is drop down to your knees. Mm-hmm. Drop down to your knees or simply pray, pray and ask for guidance, and protection in the time of Jacob's trouble, because that's going to be your best bet. You know what I'm saying? Like Brother Nakwam was saying on his live, why would you do all this? You passing all the exams and you fail the final test. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see stuff like this, and then you try to take upon yourself to make your own decisions without consulting with the Most High. Then you're gonna get yourself killed, or even just discombobulated, and you don't want that.
You had the answers the whole time. You got the cheat sheet the whole time, man. Why you over here trying to guess? You got the answers.
But 16 and 17, he's just saying, because in that time, it might not be now. It might be before then. When the famine of the word comes about, you might have people say, "Hey, bro, can you teach me this?" They might even offer you money, and you just gotta say no. My father said I gotta stop talking. I can't keep teaching and things like that. So, they're gonna try to do the best that they can, to find the word themselves, or they gonna probably try to hurry up and run to the notes and be like, okay, I gotta follow the holy days, I gotta do this and that, and they're gonna try to, basically nudge their way into salvation, and it doesn't work that way. Yeah, like he said, seeing thou his instruction and castest my words behind thee. You had all this time, to follow the law, statutes, and the holy days, and to get right. But people like to put their own personal opinions and things they've learned. Yeah, that one too. But things they've learned in the world over the Most High, and at that point, well, you screwed. So you may as well get this word now, because ain't no telling. It could be next week or the week after. The internet could shut down and stuff like that. Like, you gotta always take advantage of the things you have, especially when multiple people are saying this. It's not like just one person is saying it, 2 people saying it. Like, it's multiple people coming out and admitting like this is the truth and all that. Like, what more do you need when other nations are sitting here telling you you are the chosen children? People just, I don't know. But let me stop my rant. You got anything to touch on that one, man?
Yeah, just like you were saying earlier, like you was touching on earlier, like when people come to us and they ask questions and we give them answers, or we post something and somebody might not agree with what we posted, man. It ain't us what we doing personally, but we're out here. Oh, sorry, Salakia. Let me restart from the beginning. But like when people ask us questions and they want answers, or they see something that we post and they might not necessarily agree with it, it's not us, and we're not doing this out of our personal agenda or wants or feelings. This is just what the word is, the truth, and what it says. And people gotta understand that, bro. Like, it might not be something that you like, bro. It might not be something that you necessarily want, but you gotta make sacrifices. Everybody had to. And people gotta understand that you gotta push your feelings and your ego aside, bro.
Yeah, he told you not to lean on your own, understanding.
Exactly. And I wanted to jump down to Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying Yahweh with deep reverence and fear. So that's just like Brother Darren was talking about earlier. If you doing everything you're supposed to do and you keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, which includes the holy days and the Sabbaths, then everything's gonna be taken care of, bro. Your salvation's gonna be taken care of. Everything's gonna be signed, sealed, and delivered, bro. You ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. So the only thing we need to worry about is just keeping that reverence and keeping that fear and that trembling of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh's word, and get hungry for that understanding and just follow these laws. And I'm going down to John chapter 16, verses 1 through 2. And these things I have spoken unto you, that ye shall not be offended. So basically he's saying, I have spoken this unto you, and I have prophesied this to you. So you ain't going to be offended. You're not going to be unwarned. It's not going to be a surprise. So people can't be surprised about this because he already said it.
You can't be offended because this is the Most High word. My bad, Salakia. But yeah, continue.
They shall put you out in the synagogues, yeah. And the time cometh, whosoever killeth you will think that they have done God's service. So basically, there will come a time that they'll be coming out of our heads, man. Like, they'll be coming at bruised heads, bro, because they'll be like, well, you did this. You started it. They'll try to blame us for everything going on. When they have been putting themselves in this predicament for a very long time, we just been warning them. So it's going to come a time that they're going to come at us, and they're going to come at us with violence. It's not just going to be shutting our page down and all this little petty stuff. It's going to be violence. And we got to be prepared for this. We got to do what the Lord said. We got to keep steadfast on His word. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. So just to go back off that, 3, and these things will they do unto you because they have not known the Father nor me. So 2, you're going to have people, they're going to basically make the Hebrew Israelites seem like a terrorist group, seem like what we're doing is treason and things like that. Yeah, hating against, or like the president said, prophets of doom and stuff like that. Yep. No, this world is based off wickedness anyway. So when they understand and feel your light, then they're gonna feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing they can do, instead of them turning on you, they just gonna let the people, turn the people against you, and let how you be telling your friends, handle my lightweight, stuff like that. And that's what
Exactly.
they're gonna do. So you might have your own family and friends trying to put you to death because they might seem like you're going against the word, or you're going against Christianity and what it means to be a Christian and all that nonsense. And they gonna think they're doing right uh, because they've
Spreading
not
hate.
known, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. They don't know him.
Exactly.
When you speak that name to them, they're like, what? That's not what it is. And they probably give you another false God name besides the J name, or it be like that broken, busted Hebrew.
Get us.
Yeah, and they try to put that in there, but no, his name is this, and it's just like, all right, bro.
No.
At that point, you just gotta let a fool
Sure.
answer in his folly at that point. But yeah, they're gonna be thinking they doing right, but the whole time they're not, because they just bugged out, and it's gonna come true because that's what the Hamashiach spoken. I'm gonna jump to Luke 21, and I'm gonna read verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man, the Hamashiach. So basically what he's saying is, pray daily, pray all the time, and continue to watch, because we are watchers. Continue to watch and to pay attention to which way the momentum is swinging. You don't want to get caught lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like slang says, you want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's, and that you continue to pray into, pray that you have, favor in the sight of the Most High, to be able to escape and things like that, and to stand before, Yahweh Shai, and not be forsaken or forsake them. You got anything to touch on that?
And just like he was saying, he's saying, stay prayed up, man. Like, for real, man. Stay prayed up, bro. That's a big key, man. A lot of people miss that point, bro. Is that a lot of things that we go through, man, is like we might not have, just like when people come to me and ask a question, I might not have the answer, but man, bro, stay prayed up, bro. That's all I got to say. Stay prayed up, man.
All right, I'm gonna touch on Isaiah 33:6, and then I'm gonna close this off. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, that the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So basically, the only way you're going to get through these times that are to come, and even now, is through wisdom and knowledge. Things that the world cannot give you, what you have to pray to the Most High for. When you have wisdom and knowledge, then you'll understand what's to come, and you'll understand, how to break down scripture and get a better understanding of, what to do in that time. And of course they got to repent. You already know that one. That's number one. They got to repent, and they got to seek the Most High, because if they don't, then he's not going to save them. But like I say every time, the 1/3 got to play their part, the 2/3 got to play their part, and I mean that's that. But if you're part of 1/3, say it again.
Everybody got a role to play, man. Everybody got their role to play to make this thing work.
Basically. But, wisdom and knowledge is going to help you go far, as well as discernment. Discernment is going to help you as well, because using discernment of the Spirit, you'll be able to, to tell people's spirits, and to be able to know right from wrong. But you got to be very detailed in your prayer. You know what I'm saying? But he already knows what you're going to ask for before you even pray. You got anything to touch on that before I close with Sirach?
No, man, you good. I'll DM anybody that need we got certain Hebrew prayers already in Paleo Hebrew that we got prayers for repent. We got different prayers for all different types of situations. So just hit us up. That's all I wanted to touch on that, man. Because somebody had just talked about repent. I told him I'll send it a prayer for repent. So anybody that
the thoughts. Yeah, I've been like that before. It's been to the point where it's been overwhelmed. But they do that because, like 2 Corinthians was saying, we wrestle with spiritual strongholds, evil strongholds that are trying to put us down, because they understand we're the light. We're the only light that have, that are in this world, because this world is just full of darkness. So they're going to try to make us forsake the Most High, but that's not what's gonna happen. So you gotta always stay prayed up, and and it's better to say your prayers in Hebrew because things uttered in Hebrew, have a stronger meaning than if you say it in English. But you ain't got to be fluent in Hebrew. But like Brother Paris said, we have prayers that are in Hebrew. You can practice it and things like that. If you need help trying to understand it, we have videos.
Very well versed.
We have videos, or we can record ourselves saying it for you and send it to you.
Yeah.
But the last one I want to close with, which is very important, is Ecclesiastes, or the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. So, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. So you're going to get hit with temptation regardless, because you're surrounded by wickedness. So it's going to happen because you're the light. So we already 1/3 of us out of 30 billion. It's not a lot. It might seem like a lot, but it's not a lot. So we're battling evil forces all the time, even in our dreams. So you got to prepare your soul for temptation, but not fall for it. It's going to happen. You can't stop temptation, but you got to pray for self-discipline and self-control and discernment to not fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So basically, patience of the saints. You got to endure to the end. It's not an easy road, which he understands that. But you got to do the best that you can. When he sees that you're trying, he's going to help you. Make not haste in time of trouble. So basically, stay away from trouble. You know what I'm saying? If you can get away from trouble quickly, do that. Don't hesitate. Don't do none of that, because you do not want to dwell in those situations. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So basically, do not forsake the Most High. Do not go away from him, because he's like your God. When you have no God, it's going to make you easier to be susceptible to sinning and other things as well. For whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. So in this journey, you have trials and tribulations. You have the highs and the lows. You're not going to always get your way and things like that. Just like Job. Take Job as an example. When Job was stricken with disease, like warts, had his servants killed, like he lost almost everything, and he was having a bad spirit. Yeah, I mean, that's common. People are going to do that. They're going to be like, why did this happen and stuff like that. But you got to understand, don't always ask, why is this happening? Try to figure out, what am I supposed to learn at this moment right now? You know what I'm saying? You learn more when you're down. Exactly. You learn more when you're down than when you're up. So take it as, I'm just gaining knowledge. I'm gaining understanding. And the next time this situation comes around, or the next time my friend or my brethren has a problem like this, then I know how to help him. What he's doing is you have to be broken down in order to be rebuilt. So he's probably just breaking you down to rebuild you. But at the end, it's worth it. The Most High is not going to put you through pain and things like that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He's a righteous entity. So that's what he's going to do. Our Father is not going to do something just because. There's a reason behind it. He might not tell you right away what it is, but there's a reason at the end. And he's saying, be patient. Like right now, we're in captivity. Be patient, because you already know the war is already won. So there's no point. I mean, you're gonna complain, every now and then, but try to take that to a minimum and just be grateful for what you have. Like, change your outlook on things. Something might not go your way. You just say, okay, that's fine. We're not gonna let it get us down. We're gonna keep doing this and keep praying and things like that. You're gonna be all right. That's all I had to say on that one.
Hey, man. You pretty much hit it on the head, bro. I think we covered everything. This will be going on the YouTube, just like every other video. Give it a day or two, it'll go up on there. We have another part we're going to finish with this. We will try to, most likely tomorrow or Friday, the next 2 days, we're going to be
time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye, that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I, if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division.
If we want to send our
And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
fuck up my neighborhood.